All right, so with dividing fractions, first thing we need to vocab where we need to know is something called a reciprocal. So here's an example of where the reciprocal of a is 1 over a. So basically the reciprocal of something is the flipped version of it. So just flip a fraction over itself. Now, if it's a whole number, then it's going to be that number over 1. So for example, the reciprocal of 8 will be 1 over 8 because technically 8 is 8 over 1. So we just flip it. Reciprocal of 1/2 is just 2, or 2 over 1. We just flip it. The reciprocal of 2/3, and actually I shouldn't really put equals here because those don't equal each other. They are the reciprocals. So let's just put like a arrow. 3 over 2. Now, why do we need to know that? Because to divide fractions, if you're dividing by a fraction, and actually any scenario, you to divide by any number, what you're doing is multiplying by its reciprocal. So what we always do is change so to divide by fractions, we change it to multiply and flip the number. So for example, here we're going to have 4 over 27, and instead of divide, times 9 over 8. So change it to multiply and flip it. Now we can do a little bit of reducing ahead of time. 9 goes into 9 once, 9 goes into 27 3 times, 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice. So now you can multiply across and you get 1/6. So to divide by a fraction is actually multiplying by its reciprocal. So next one here, we have dividing by 3, which is like 3 over 1, is actually like multiplying by its reciprocal, which is 3 over 1. Again, I can be doing a little bit of reducing. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 15 5 times, and I multiply across. This actually works with anything. If I was doing, just for example, 8 divided by 2, you of course could tell me that equals 4, right? I could actually go 8 times the reciprocal of that, 1/2. What's half of 8? Well, it's still 4. So it actually works with all numbers, not just with fractions, but we do it with fractions. So only switch the second number. So we have 8 times, in this case, 8 over 1, right? We always make our whole numbers times 6 over 1, and actually that equals just 48, or 48 over 1. Change it to multiply, flip the second number. Never do anything with the first number. Change to multiply and flip it. If it's a whole number, remember that's actually like 4 over 1, so we flip it to 1 over 4. You could multiply across, or you could do a little reducing ahead of time, and 1/6 again. So change to multiply, flip the second number, and then it's just like multiplying again. Get this one here. So now with mixed numbers, same kind of concept as multiplying. I'm going to change these to mixed numbers. So 8 times 4 plus 3 is 35 over 4. I'm going to leave this as division while we change this. 2 times 8 plus 5 is 16, plus 5 is 21 over 8. So now, after we made the change, we can go ahead and flip and switch. Switch the sign here to multiply, flip the number, and we do have some reducing. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice. And actually we have some reducing over here. 7 goes into that 3 times, 7 goes into that 5 times. So we have 10/3, which would go 3 and 1/3. So my difference there is a little extra step, just change to improper and then do the flipping. So 5 times 3 plus 2 is 17 over 3. I'm going to leave that division sign for, well, actually we could go ahead and flip since this is not a mixed number. 5/3 And we have 9, and we have 85. 9 goes into 85 9 times. The remainder of 4. And there is your answer. Okay. Change, we'll do one more here. Change to improper. Both of them, flip them around. Change to multiply. 4 times 2. I'm going to leave that division sign in there. Now I will switch. And I can do a little bit of reducing ahead of time. If my pen will work, here we go. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, and we have 18 fifths, which is 3 3/5. All right.